Hey YouTube, I'm back with another deck profile. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my updated Ancient Dragon Tachikaze deck. So, Ancient Dragons was the original, relatively good Tachikaze deck that I put together from back in the day. Before Legion Arc, but definitely during Legion Arc is when Ancient Dragons really became popular for a while, at least for Tachikaze people. So, they're really cool. Dark Rex got support just like Garmor. So, Bushiroad occasionally will throw a bone to the older players there for playing like the old decks from like back in the day, like this one for instance. So Garmor, this one, Blau, and Rex got support. So this one's going to be focusing on Ancient Dragons. They got some new support, makes their stride plays a little better. So to start off, still running 3 Spino Commando. You can run 4. You can run all Spino if you want to go for full all-out Spino, but I kind of like the old Legion play. So I'm sticking with 3 and 3 of these guys. So essentially, if you've got 2 of these, you can loop them. If you really want, like if you don't want to stride, you can like break ride on him because he's got a pretty good break ride, and then later on, like you can ride this guy. Yeah, you take him from the soul. Ride him as stand, and then you can take him, put him in there. So that's at the end of your turn. So, yeah, he allows you to do some funny combos. I guess ideally for most consistent reasons, you probably want to run like 4 of each, and that would be your grade 3 lineup. But I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm going to run the Legion in here. It's the good Legion. So Tyranno Quake. That gives me access to Legion. And Tachikaze does retire a lot of stuff, and sometimes they need to retire stuff so you can put your triggers and your good tech cards back in the deck and use them over again. So that's basically the grade 3 lineup that I went with. But usually you're probably going to stride like 3 times, maybe do the break ride, and you only do the Legion play if you can't stride that turn. So that's why the Legion's still an okay backup. For grade 2s, 4 Ancient Dragon Tyranno Bite. He's a Legion mate for Tyranno Quake. So 4 of him. He's also Self-Reviver when he's sent to the drop zone from R. You can counterblast and call him back to R. You just have to have an Ancient Dragon Vanguard to do that. 3 Dino Crowd. He's a very old card from BT11, from Steel Dragons and Leech back in the day. Him and the Break Ride were really good. He's still good in the current meta because he can easily form a 21k by retiring this guy, so then this guy can self-revive and he's standing. So they're kind of like, it's interesting. Tachikaze, Ancient Dragon specifically, remind me a little bit of Aqua Force. I mean, how they're able to get multi-attacks in. Then I'm running 2 of this new guy, Ancient Dragon, Hylian Pike. One thing I don't like about him is he's GB restricted. I wish he wasn't. He also requires to Soul Blast an Ancient Dragon to do his cost. Basically what happens is when he's retired from the rearguard circle, and you have Ancient Dragon Vanguard, you can call him to R, and he gets 5,000 power. So he's okay, but he's GB unrestricted. So I don't know. I kind of like the Legion mate and the Raptor more because you can do a lot of like crazy rush combos, especially if you go second. Alright, well, I guess you go first. No, if you go first, yeah. If you go first, you can, like, hit them hard really fast with, like, if you open up with, like, one of each of these. You ride Dino Crowd as your Vanguard, because he's got Vanguard Rearguard effect. You swing with this guy as a Rearguard. They usually block him or take damage. If they don't have a 5, they usually take damage. Then he swings, he eats him, he gets 5k, so they can't really block the Vanguard. Then he self-revives this guy. If he gets a trigger, then, you know... Yeah, so that's why I still like the old school plays with decks that are not the GB2 decks. I feel like the older stuff is better, more preferred over the new stuff. But in the later parts of the game, this guy is actually pretty ridiculous. So that's why we run 2 of him. Another really hilarious card in here is Ancient Dragon Hypno Hang. He's basically your Tidal Assault, but he's only Tidal Assault if you have a Spino Vanguard, which would be these 6 cards. So... I mean, I guess you could run all Spino, then it wouldn't be an issue. You just wouldn't have the Legion. So then you could run like 3 of these or something, but I don't know. Like, I really think this lineup is really nice. You want to have as many of the self-revivers as you can, and then these are just your tech cards. For grade 1s, 4 Ancient Dragon Paraswal. He's been with Ancient Dragon since the beginning for obvious reasons. No real reason to change him from what I found. 3 Gatling Garo. He is just like the Wreck, the Dino crowd, only he's the grade 1. So he's basically the Ancient Dragon equivalent of a Melum. Because he can swing 7+5, eat a rear guard, and then I guess if it's a self-reviver, it revives. And then or set up for Legion or whatever, and then he's swinging for 12k, so it's pretty good as a grade 1. Next, 3 Ancient Dragon Noto Tank. He's a new card that they got. Actually, he's from the technical booster, so he's not a brand new card. But he is actually really nice. He's just like, if I remember, he's like this guy. Choose one. No, he's not. If you do, he counter charges. Choose one of your other units, and he gives a 4,000. So he can potentially combo with either of these to get, or even like this guy, or any of them to get a lot of power. Even the Vanguard. So that's why we run 3 of him. And then 3 of the grade 1 self-reviver. So Iguanogorg, just like the Legion mate. That way you've got like a decent amount. You got like 7 cards that self-revive in here. And then 2 of this new card from the technical booster. I guess I shouldn't call it new, but it's like I haven't featured it in a deck profile before, so that's why I'm saying it's new. But anyway, 2 of it because I like Ancient Dragons with criticals, because it's just over the top scary for the opponent. So only running 2 stands in here. I know it's an interesting setup, but other than that, it's like 10 criticals after that. Preferably Ancient Dragon criticals like Dino Dial. He's really good. He always wins. He always wins you games. Like, trust me, you gotta run a Dino Dial. And then the Ancient Dragon Sprite, and then just whatever other critical you want. And then the Ancient Dragon Heal. And the new starter from set 10, Ancient Dragon Petra Kid. So he's also pretty cool because he looks at the top 3. When he gets retired, for the effect of an Ancient Dragon, which is basically like everything, you look at the top 3, counterblast. Oh, he's getting retired, so you counterblast 1. You look at the 3, search for an Ancient Dragon. So that's why we run Parswal instead of the Unflipper and all the other stuff, so you can get this to your hand. Look at 3, get an Ancient Dragon. Oh, actually, never mind. Call it to open R and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So he cycles the deck. Not terrible. He's pretty decent. He helps you dig through the deck and get a rear guard on the field. So helps the deck seem even more like Shadow Paladin. So, or I guess in that regard, it's kind of like a Gold Paladin style. But anyway, for the Stride deck, 1 Super Ancient Dragon Pearly Titan. He's kind of lackluster, but he's not terrible. He's good. You only really need like 1 of him. Then they got a new Ancient Dragon. This is Burn, Grayon, or Grayon. You can first Stride him. Basically what he does is on the main phase, you can counterblast 1. So once per turn though, and he chooses a rear guard and he gives it the red skill until the end of the turn. When it's retired, you can return it to your hand. So that's actually quite good. That's why we run 2 of him. And 1 Pearly Titan. Pearly Titan usually is almost never going to get his critical. But he does retire the opponent's rear guard and 1 of yours, so you can like potentially just -1 off your opponent just relatively easily. Otherwise, this guy can just put stuff back in the hand that he retires. And then when he attacks, he can choose an Ancient Dragon, retire it, and he gets 10,000 power. So really easy, 36,000 attacker on first stride. So relatively good. 2 Destructive Equipment Hammer. So he's your Engorge unit that doesn't really do a whole lot else. But he does have the potential to retire the opponent's rear guard. So again, kind of like Pearly Titan. Yeah, so I don't know, if you have a lot of the self-revivers, it's probably worth striding him over Pearly Titan. And then Arc Raider, he's your on-hit, and more retire the opponent's stuff. So quite a number of retiring the opponent's stuff for once instead of just your stuff. So that's actually pretty cool that Tachikaze is starting to gain those abilities, because I think it's Dragon Empire, so it makes sense for the most part. And then 2 Grado Gigant. He's your big Engorge guy, but he he can also draw you cards. So he's like your replenisher. So not terrible. They have a pretty good lineup now, Ancient Dragons. I mean, and this isn't even including any of like the really other like stuff that goes with the GB2 deck. I'm just running like old school stuff with just the new Ancient Dragon. And then two of the old G Guardian, 2 of the new one. Blockades, really nice. And then 1 Scryu, Desmol, and Seabreeze. Just 3 Cray Elementals. So, and that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think of Ancient Dragons. Do you like them more than Rex and the new GB2 build, or do you like the new stuff more? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.